it was too expensive. Like they
Yeah,
charge
that is an insane price.
$60 a month. Like
That's crazy.
now we're talking shit about StreamYard while we record on StreamYard.
I know, right?
Welcome in. It's the Fountain Cast. It's been a long time. When did we get together last?
Oh, it's been a while. It was before the draft. It was well before the draft, probably.
It's like a month before the draft, I think.
Yep. Yeah. It's been a little bit both getting busy. I just moved, so if you see the new background, new place, new city, so
Yeah, life's
it's
busy.
crazy,
I
but
think I just realized I have like puke on my shirt from the baby, so I'm just
ba-
making it work.
baseball never stops though. So
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, it's a big difference from when we got together last. Rose are 2 games above
yep.
500, 63 and 61. Still 9 games back from first. I don't think we really, even when we talked last, I don't think we saw them catch the Tigers, but 4
I was
games
about to
out of
say
a wild card.
when I edited it last, we were one game below 500, 34 and 35. So really not that different. We were 10 and a half games back. So
Yeah, I mean, they played
yeah.
flat basically over
Yep.
that whole 2-month stretch.
Yep.
4 games back. Big series coming up this week with the Rangers. I think the Red Sox are playing the Yankees, so that'll be a big series as well. I just want like if one of them sweeps the other one,
Yep.
that'll be good.
Exactly.
You know,
Yep.
I don't know how likely that is, but even just 3 games to 1, if somebody wins that series instead of a split and the Royals take
Yeah.
care of business, then they'll be good shape.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'd have to look. I think if like the Yankees lose like 3 games in that series and the Royals win 3 games, I think you're like a game out.
Yeah. And I personally, I'll root for the Red Sox because my managers are Red Sox fans, but also I'd rather play the Red Sox than the Yankees personally. I
Yeah.
think we've had better success against them. Crochet dominated the last time we played him, but we've seen Crochet. Like a lot of the players have seen him from when he was with the White Sox. And I think that we own Dustin May. Every time Dustin May comes to the mound, we win a game.
Yeah.
So
I'd honestly I'd just rather play in Fenway than Yankee Stadium, to be
that
honest.
too.
Hate
Yeah.
going to that place.
Yes. Yeah. And Aaron Judge pokes a fly ball over the fence.
Yeah. Speaking of Aaron
But
Judge, like it's Cal Raleigh's MVP to lose at this point, right?
yeah, especially after the injury, the total stats are they're gonna go to Cal Raleigh. I wish
saw
that
some.
I
I think
wish
he
Bobby
was.
was having the year he had last year this year, and then it would be Bobby Witt versus Cal Raleigh. That would be a little more fun, but
Yeah,
thank you.
right. Obviously, he's hurt now, but I saw some Yankees fan today talking about it's not even close. Like, yeah, it's pretty close, and
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's on the side you think it is.
Yeah, yeah. He's a Judge is good, and the per game stats are going to be crazy, but I think that the value of a catcher that's playing good
Mhm.
defense every day, like framing pitches well, good behind the plate at catching runners, and then is hitting the way that he is. I mean, if you're gonna, I always have said in all sports that we've almost eliminated the V from MVP because value is in the name, and the value of a defensive catcher that can also hit the way that Cal Raleigh can is so much more valuable than a right fielder that's mashing.
Yeah, I mean, even just the fact that we're having a conversation, I
Yeah,
think tells you all you need to know
exactly,
about where that is.
exactly.
Well, sorry, I sidetracked us a little bit. We'll get into some news. Thanks for putting the doc together, by the way. I know you've got quite a few things on here. I think we can get into, we'll cover the draft a little bit so we can kind of recap what happened there. We don't have to go too in detail because I think it's been long enough. We both kind of shared our thoughts on that somewhere or
Yeah,
another.
yeah.
And then I know you put out a piece on Rose Review going over Matt Quatraro, so we can kind of go into that a little bit as well.
Yeah, I'm not letting fans. I'm not having it anymore. I'm so sick of the fire Matt Quatraro tweets after our best left fielder is negative -0.6 WAR on the year, and
Yeah.
like the closer who has 27 saves blows 2 games, and all of a sudden he should be fired. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Football season's also coming around, and we all know how Chiefs fans get. So
It's just
um,
so
I've reached my
reactionary.
wits'
It's
end.
insane.
Yeah, people want change for the sake of change, and I got frustrated, and while I was on the train, I wrote all about why I love Matt Quatraro, and likely made some people mad, but I'm here for it.
The right people mad in that case.
Yeah, right.
Into the news, Royals swept the White Sox, which was good. I mean, they came off kind of what was it, like a 3-3 stretch? So getting a
Yeah,
sweep in there, that's really what they needed.
Yeah.
If they can
Getting hot
keep them
before
there.
this Rangers series is huge. I mean, this is going to
Yeah.
be this 4-game series. If they have to take 3, I mean, splitting 2 would be okay, but like that's not what you want. If you take 3, or I mean, sweeping a 4-game series is really hard. But if you're able to come away with 3, I mean, the playoff hopes are not just alive; like they're becoming fire. Like so,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Royals are at a point where they can't keep splitting. They gotta take some series. They
yeah,
got the Rangers, then they got the Tigers, then they got the White Sox again, then the Tigers again. So I think, people are discounting the Tigers because they're like on a cool stretch, but I don't think you can really do that. You got to go into it prepared, and obviously the team will. But I think the Tigers are a lot tougher than people are giving them credit for right now.
yeah. The thing that's going to be to the advantage of the Royals when playing the Tigers is just the fact that they're in division, both to their benefit and to their downfall. Is going to be that the Tigers and the Royals see each other so much that there's a better scouting report for them than there will be for other teams. So I think that you could see the offense play a little bit better, but you also see the Tigers play the Royals a little bit better. So it'll be a good matchup. It's the same for both sides, but it could help the Royals, especially from facing any chance of being swept in that series.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
That's what they can't afford right now.
Yep. So they're playing right now. I think it's 1-1 right now. We had another Yastrzemski leadoff home run. That
Yeah,
gives him
that's
3.
crazy.
That's like the
Uh huh.
third most in Royals history, and he's been on the
Yeah.
team for what, like 3 weeks?
14 games. 14
2 weeks.
games. You posted about it and I retweeted it because I went and looked and he's played 14 games for the Royals and he's got 3 leadoff homers. It's insane.
Absolutely nuts. Well, let's kind of look at the trade deadline a little bit. Obviously, we traded for Yastrzemski. We traded for Brady or Bailey Falter from the Pirates. He's been okay. Went to the bullpen. You know, good depth, I
Yeah.
think, for next year. Really, the star of the deadline though was that Ryan Berger trade. Freddie Fermin to
Yeah.
the Padres. We also got Kolek in that deal, but I think Berger's really the star return. Tell me a little bit about Ryan Berger.
Yeah. I do a lot of pitching development pieces and things like that over at Royals Review, and I wrote about Ryan Bergert and Stephen Kolek. But Ryan Bergert was fun to watch, and somebody that I hadn't heard of that much. Like I'd seen him in AAA every now and again, but like hadn't heard a ton about him. But he was fun. He's an aggressive pitcher. He's in the zone, which is exactly what the Royals want. They love their guys to throw first pitch strikes and attack hitters. And he really has that like this is going to be an aggressive comparison, and he's not Max Scherzer, but that like good mid 90s fastball with ride through the zone, confidence attacking the zone, and then a sweeper and a slider combination to play off of it, and then the his changeup's developing its shape, which is really the biggest difference between him and like someone like Scherzer or anybody with those um, pitch combinations. But if he can come up with that off-speed pitch looking good, he's going to be a really really tough guy to get on playing with because the fastball plays so well off the slider and the sweeper, and the Royals have been good about developing changeups. So if they can get him that off-speed pitch, he's going to be a scary starter.
Yeah, I mean they've kind of put him on. I mean, for one, the changeup has gotten better like instantly, and like
Yep.
even like his second start, it was looking much
Yeah.
better. I mean, obviously a lot of that goes to the Royals. I think probably some of it. You look at a guy like Michael Walker, probably has some
Right.
impact in there as well.
Yep.
But I mean, they did the same thing with Cole Reagans. He came over from the Rangers, stopped throwing the fastball as much, really elevated the rest of the arsenal, and
Yeah.
then started throwing the fastball more. The
Yeah.
season after that. So I think this is like your. I guess he'll probably be a number 4 next year, but I think Berger's probably a number 3 on a lot of big league staffs next year if he wasn't with the Royals.
Yeah. I think he has the upside to be in the front end of a rotation if he really gets that off-speed pitch to play well, and he can keep the fastball out of the middle because again he does like to attack, and sometimes he nibbles onto the inside and it gets hammered. We saw that in his last start. But when he's able to man the fastball at the top of the zone and then use those sliders and sweepers and changeups to break away from that, hitters are just lost. And he's confident. That's something that the Royals have loved is those guys that just go up and they never change who they are. He throws the same approach, whether there's a runner on first, a runner on second, runner on first and second, bases loaded, whatever. He's going to attack you. He's going to go about his stuff. Um, I was a big fan of his biggest again the thing is just the changeup. I'm trying to think
Mhm.
of a way to describe it, but with the Padres that was always the issue. It just didn't really play well off the fastball. And it does help to have a guy like Michael Wacha, even Seth Lugo. Michael Lorenzen is a great changeup too. That's the benefit of those veteran pitchers there. Even when they're not healthy or they're not pitching super well, like those guys know the different grips. They know the things that they've learned throughout so many years. You help a guy who's just 25 years old coming up to the majors. It's a game changer for him.
Yeah, for sure. And for anybody that doesn't know, I mean, Berger, like you said, he throws like 93, 94, but really it's the shape. He's got a lot of rise on the fastball, good IVB on the pitch. I think, they're working through the changeup right now. He's got 2 iterations of the slider. He's got, the actual slider, which I feel like is like 87, but then he's got that
Yep.
sweeper, which is more like 82. So, I mean, get the changeup in place. I think he's a guy that, like, honestly, if you can get him to add like a cutter at like
Yeah.
90 or even a curveball, like if you just can get him up to like, or even the sinker, like he throws a sinker, but
That's
not a ton. If you elevate
yeah.
the sinker, like then you're talking about moving a guy from like a 3 or 4 to like maybe a 2 or a 3.
That's what I'm saying. I even over at Royals Review, I wrote about the value of how the Royals have been adding two seamers to guys quite a bit, especially in the
Mhm.
minor leagues. We just saw Ben Kudrna get promoted, and his fastball has gotten a lot more sink and arm side run on it. That'll be a valuable thing for Berger to jam guys on the inside. It'll play super well off that slider sweeper. I mean, that is really what makes his fastball so effective. It can be 93, 94, it can be straight, but you have to make up your mind because if you choose fastball and he is throwing the sweeper, that thing has late break, late bite, you're not going to touch it.
Yeah.
So it's a tough thing to get out of the middle. Hitters are often looking fastball and then get a sweeper, or they're looking sweeper and they get a fastball. He does a great job mixing the two of them.
Yeah. Into the rest of the deadline, the Royals sent, what was it, Junior Marte to the Giants for Yastrzemski. They sent Evan Sisk and Callan Moss to the Pirates for Bailey
Yep.
Falter. I mean, I don't view any of those guys as like a really substantial return, but are there any of those guys that you're kind of bummed out that we gave up?
I liked well, one I like Grichuk, who was the other big guy we got at the deadline. I was
Mm.
thinking he would play more than Yaz would play, but Yastrzemski's been playing so well they can't really keep him out of the lineup, especially against righties. I was a little bit frustrated with the Bailey Falter trade. I get that the team needed depth, but I kind of felt like Steven Kolick brought that already, especially once Lorenzen got healthy. He's your sixth starter. You have Luander Avila who can provide some. He just came up, but he can play multiple innings. He's been a starter down at Omaha. So I didn't love that, especially because I really liked what I saw from Evan Sisk. Really, if you watch the Rangers today, you might see Hobie Milner, who's going to come out. He is this funky arm angle. One of the best pitches in baseball is his 88-mile-an-hour fastball that hitters just cannot find because his slider is lethal. And I really saw the same type of spin and shape on his pitches from Evan Sisk. The issue was always his command. And even in Omaha, he was seeing some struggles with the command, burning him. But I liked what he could have become. And now that Falter has moved to the bullpen, I just feel like Evan Sisk in the bullpen could have been better than Falter in the bullpen.
Yeah.
And I know that they needed starter depth, but that just wasn't my guy. I felt like if they were going to get somebody, they might as well get somebody who they can option once Lorenzen gets healthy, because I don't think Falter's really built for the bullpen with the way that he pitches.
Yeah, you don't have the flexibility with your roster. Obviously Falter's out of options, so that's why he went to the bullpen.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just part of the puzzle next year. Falter has some team control. That is the other thing that you look at, like Berger, lots of team control. He's a rookie this year. Kolek's still got some control, I believe. Falter's got, I think, 2 more years left. So, well, I think for what the Royals gave up and for how much team control they received, I think it was kind of surprising.
Yeah, that Freddie Fermin trade was a steal. I mean, everybody loves Freddie. That was one of my favorite players on the Royals. I know it was one of my mom's favorite players on the Royals, so she was so sad to hear that he left. But as much as everybody loved him, I think that it's a fair thing to say that he wasn't getting enough play time for himself, and the Royals capitalized on high value to send him to a team that needed a catcher to get not only pitching depth for this season, but they got themselves a starter for next season. And the competition for that 2026 rotation is going to be fierce.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just take a moment. Like, you traded a rental,
Right.
like 2 months of Aroldis Chapman
Mm-hmm.
and Freddie Fermin for like your number 1 and number 3 starter potentially for like 3 seasons. Like
Yeah,
that's
and
just nuts to me.
not to mention you got a sixth starter that's going to be in the minor leagues with Kolek, and then Ronnie Cruz, who was just not Ronnie Cruz, Ronnie Cabrera, who's basically just a lottery ticket down in the minor leagues. But the fact that that wasn't even a 1-for-1 deal is just it's crazy what we've seen Piccolo be able to do at the deadline, really capitalizing on the value for some of those players that they weren't going to maximize their potential in Kansas City.
Yeah. And I think I talked about it a while ago, but I think this was before any of the trades also. But like long time ago, you had, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but you had the Royals acquiring guys like Ryan Buckter,
Right.
and you saw those guys come over and get worse. Now you're seeing guys come over and get better, which I think just plays into that trade return. I think if you had the Royals of old and they acquired Cole Reagans, I don't think he finishes, the Cy Young type of pitcher that he is.
Cal Eldred would have had him on the injured list for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
I cannot emphasize enough how much this pitching staff, not just the players, but the staff, the coaching, Paul Gibson in the minor leagues, Brian Sweeney up here, the way that they have been developing pitchers is arguably the best in baseball. They have turned kids as low as A ball, rookie ball, Dominican League, all the way up to the major leagues. These guys are just improving at ways and rates that we haven't seen from Royals pitchers. Even when they were winning World Series, we didn't see pitchers change this much this quickly. I mean,
all the pitchers were free agents.
Yeah,
for the most part,
right. Like this is, you're looking at a homegrown team of really, really good pitchers.
Yeah, something we haven't seen. I mean, rounding out the rest of the news, Michael Lorenzen came back. Hunter Harvey injured again. We did see Luinder Avila up for a brief time, like you said. Then he's back in Omaha with Lorenzen coming back up. I thought what we saw from Avila was good. I think it's just maybe it's just this in between thing where they're trying to kind of decide what they want him to be. He could stay in Kansas City and be a single inning reliever, maybe even a multi inning reliever, or do you want him to really remain as a starter? And I think as he's back in Omaha the rest of the year, they'll probably stretch him back out. Would be my guess.
Yeah, I think he provides depth for this year, but long term, he just has to be a reliever. There's 5 spots, 6 spots maybe in the rotation next season and beyond. There's no room for him to be a starter, and especially with his stuff, with that power fastball and then a big curveball, 2 versions of the fastball that guys have to pick up on, and then the curve just falls out of nowhere. He is going to be a reliever long term, I think, and it's tough for me to say that he shouldn't have stayed with the team. I do understand that you just traded for Falter, so you obviously can't DFA him. Sam Long has been somewhat efficient recently, although they've not too great, but 50-50. And so they want to keep riding with their guys. I can understand sending him back down, but he looked good in his start. I feel like he deserves a chance with how he's playing right now.
Yeah,
it's crowded.
Yeah, I mean, the crowded is a good thing, I think, but I would have liked to see more. But I mean, maybe it's just I just hold on to he's going to have more value as a starter, at least short term. Maybe that gives you more flexibility with trades in the off season. Who knows?
Right, and it is fair to say that the team needs that depth in case there's an injury. I don't know who you got in the bullpen down there right now. If somebody got injured other than Avila, it's thin now because Sisk is gone, Hoffman's gone. And those are the 2 guys that you were really calling on for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, they just signed Nick Robertson, which is a promising guy, but he hasn't been all that stellar in his career.
Yeah, it pretty much leaves you with Avila as your next bullpen guy, regardless of who gets injured or whatnot. So I'm okay with it, but I do want to see him get a chance next year at least.
Yeah. They did today. We heard they promoted Ben Kurna to AAA, so we're slowly getting some of that pitching prospect talent up to AAA. I'm really interested to see what the actual traits are on the fastball once he's in Omaha. We can actually get that StatCast data because the first half of the year he was, I mean, just to put it plainly, he sucked.
Yeah,
like it just wasn't good. We saw the fastball in spring training was like a Daniel Lynch from 3 years ago fastball. Like it was just
100%.
not good. And then you talked a little earlier about He's mixing in that two-seamer. So he has, as he's reworked and kind of reshaped his fastball usage, we've seen him improve over the second half. So I'm really interested to see what that Statcast data looks like when he moves up.
Yeah, that is the thing. Like similar to Daniel Lynch, he was never really a guy that's gonna get insane spin on the ball. He was never really a guy that's gonna overpower you. So if he was able to build that two seamer, he can keep hitters on the bad parts of the bat, keep forcing soft contact, make it deep into games, and he has looked a lot better down the stretch. I mean, early in the season, like you said, I mean, he flat out sucked. There's no real other way to put it. He really struggled. Um, but as he's been able to build up the fastball offerings, he continues to use that slider changeup mix. He's able to get the outs by forcing hitters to swing at bad pitches, and that's exactly what you need from him at the higher levels of the organization.
Yeah. The biggest thing and why he fell, because I think Pipeline still has him like 4 or maybe even 3. I don't know. He's pretty up there in
Yeah,
the top 30. He fell for me to like the 20 range just because he stopped generating swing and miss in the strike zone. He started relying
yeah,
so heavily on chase, and guys were just like, he was giving up. Like guys were hitting like 260 off of him. He was giving up
yep,
home run every single outing, it seemed like. Until
yeah.
he can really develop that end zone swing and miss, it's just going to be hard to see him find success, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, especially if the fastball regresses in AAA or he has trouble getting success with that. He could revert back to what he
Mhm.
was doing before. That would not be ideal. He needs that fastball to be working for him. It's a straight pitch. He needs both of those two fastballs to play well so that they can play off each other. Hitters can't stick on one of them because that was also the problem for me. You have to have a base pitch that you can rely on. He either could have switched to make the slider his reliable first pitch, which, eh, and the fastball just was not a pitch that you can rely on for the majority of your offerings in the minor leagues, even let alone the major leagues once he gets up here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty unlikely he makes any major league appearances this year, but if he's at AAA now, he's a guy that we can start looking at next season.
He'll be on the 40 man because they got to protect him.
Yeah, he'll be eligible. Frank Mazzucato will also be, but will not be protected, needless to say.
Man, we had him in the offseason. They clocked him at 94, and then it just disappeared.
Yeah, he can't maintain it in the season, which
Uh,
is like if he could just keep on the weight and keep
mhm.
that strength into the year, I think he'd be a completely different pitcher.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of, I think higher ceiling arms. I mean, I know these are higher ceiling arms. I have them rated higher in the system. David Shields, Kendry Churio, two really young arms that have really been flashing for the Royals. Churio went 5 perfect innings in his last outing, 17 in low A. I think he's got like
And
50 strikeouts and 2 walks this season.
really important to mention, at least to me, that really impressed me. He came out and threw those 5 perfect innings after the week before getting shelled. It was the
Yeah, he
worst
got
start
rocked.
of
Yeah.
his professional career. And I think that's important to mention, not because I'm highlighting something bad that he did, but because every pitcher gets shelled at some point. For a 17-year-old kid to step back up on the mound and not be phased whatsoever and just shut down the lineup, that was incredibly impressive to me because you often see prospects, they have one bad start and they struggle to recover from it for weeks. Churio had none of it. One bad start and his second time appearing in low A, and the next week he was ready to go, did his thing, and guys couldn't touch him. So between him and Shields, man, I've never had so much fun watching low A baseball in my entire life.
Yeah, it's fun. You talked about, every prospect gets shelled at least 1 point. Not for David Shields so far, at least.
Yeah, really.
Like his first professional start, he gave up 4 earned, hasn't given up 2 or more runs well,
Right.
I guess he's given up 2. Hasn't given up more than 2 in a start since.
Yeah. He's also just incredible. Guys can't touch him. That like sweeper, slider, slurve, whatever you want to call it, has tons of break. That is one of the best pitches in minor league baseball.
Yeah,
Sticking
it
low
looks so
90s.
like, it's so confusing me because I watch and I'm like, "Oh, this is a plus pitch down the road." Like, he's got
Uh-huh.
this funky arm slot, it's got really good sweeping movement, but then you look at, like, Pipeline, and they're like, "Oh, it's like an average pitch maybe." I
They're
don't
wrong.
think so, man.
I
I
don't
don't
care.
think so.
They're incorrect. That it is I would, if you're using the pipeline grading system, I would have at least a 60 on that one. I mean, it is nasty and it plays really well off his fastball. He's just 18. He'll become 19 this year and he's throwing low 90s. He's going to build strength on that. Churio, on the other hand, is throwing mid to upper 90s. He's 17 years old, 160 pounds. I don't know what happens when you put more muscle on his frame, but that's terrifying. Like
Yeah.
they have some serious talent down in low A, and they still have a ways to go. Like they're not major leaguers yet, so don't get, dead set on these guys being aces in the major leagues, but also be ready because they're going to move quick.
Yeah. Well, and it's been a long time since we had any prospects we could look at and say, like, this is ace upside. Even Ben
Yeah,
Krudner, when he joined the system, you're talking about he can probably be like a mid rotation starter if he
yeah,
maintains like 97. I think
yeah,
these are the highest ceiling guys we've had in a long time. I think Shields is the best prospect since Danny Duffy, at least.
yeah,
I honestly kind of think, at least partially in my mind, he's the best since Gringy.
yeah,
But we just have to see the fastball come up a little bit. I've
yeah.
seen some people, talk about, Mazzucato 2.0. I'm sorry, Frank Mazzucato did not have this kind of command, and
Nuh-uh.
he did not have he wasn't Mazzucato was throwing like 88. Shields
I
is
was
at
about to
least
say,
throwing 92. It's a big
yeah.
difference.
Yeah, and Shields is just owning. Like the results that he's putting up are just different. I mean, you can
Yeah,
just look at the stats themselves. Shields is different. He is one of the best young prospects. I mean, you're looking at two kids who this time last year both couldn't legally go and buy fireworks, and they're owning against like professional grade hitters in the minor leagues and making it look easy. I mean, Shields seriously just shuts down a lineup. The kid wasn't able to vote, and he's
yeah,
just, you got grown adults looking at the ball and they're just lost, and it is really impressive. The Royals, like I said, from top to bottom, have been able to develop these arms at such an impressive rate. It's going to be fun,
yeah. Well, and Shields, I mean, he's like 2 months younger than Sean Gamble.
right?
The Royals took 23rd
Uh-huh.
overall. So, I mean, the
Yeah,
Royals added, and we can kind of segue into the draft a little bit if you have anything to cover, but they added Sean Gamble, prep, high contact guy. I think maybe he'll develop some power, but he's probably going to be a hit first guy. They
yeah.
added, Josh Hammond, big time power at 28. These are both prep names as well that are just going to kind of slot in with Shields and Churio, Ramon Ramirez. You can maybe throw in Aspel Gonzalez, even though I have some
Yandel
questions.
Ricardo's down there.
Yes, Yandel Ricardo. So they've built this really solid core, and they're all kind of coming down that same timeline.
Yeah, yeah. There were a couple of pitchers in there that I liked. Cameron Millar, who was a prep arm right-hander, had a good fastball, good slider, I think. I was impressed with just his mechanics when I saw what I saw at the combine and other videos of him pitching. I mean, you don't get any crazy metrics or data from prep arms because they just don't release that really. But the stuff that was reported and the video of the way that he threw, I liked what I saw. Michael Lombardi's a fun pitcher. We'll see some cool stuff out of him, but for the most part, I liked what they did at the top of the draft. Wasn't really my favorite. There were a couple guys I wanted to come away with that slipped and fell down the draft that I was like, yeah, maybe grab him, but
Yeah.
I was cool with it. They do have that young core. That's what they were going for, so I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think it was a good draft. I'll forever talk about Cameron Appenzeller, but maybe in 2 years we'll see him in
Yep,
Kansas City anyway. We'll
it'll
see.
get there. It'll get there. Yeah, I
Um,
had him graded as one of my top prep arms too. I think that there's just some. I think Royals fans would have gone ballistic if they had drafted another left-handed pitcher throwing like low 90s that was only 160 pounds. I think the fan base would have erupted.
yeah,
But
probably so. He reminds me a lot of David Shields. It would have been nice to have two of those guys.
yeah, yep, yeah, it would be lovely to have two David Shields. We'll take three of them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, some of those draft picks they've started to land in the system. The early guys, Gamble, Hammond, they might play a little in the bridge league, spend some time like instructs, but they're not really going to hit low A this year. We'll probably see them maybe open the season low A next season, maybe start in a
Yeah,
complex. It just kind of depends.
Yeah, work him into the system. They don't need any rush. Sailors from Creighton, I think, has played a little
Mhm.
bit down in high A.
Yeah, he's been
He
playing some
started
center field.
slow, but he's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, they've had a couple guys really flash so far.
Yep.
Last minor league guy I'll bring up. I mean, we did have a promotion for friend of the podcast, AJ Causey. Nice to see that.
Yep. Very
Um,
cool.
but also friend of the podcast, Carson Rocafort, just completely
Oh yeah.
dominating Double A since he's
Yeah.
moved up. So it's been
Yeah.
like not even exaggerating. He's been one of the hottest hitters in the entire minor leagues since
Yeah.
he's moved
This
up.
is Preston's vindication after so many years of pounding the table on Carson Rockerford as one of the best hitters in the organization. And the process has always been there. And I think one
Yeah,
of my favorite things that I've heard from our time doing this or interviewing people was just him telling us that whatever it takes to help the team, he's going to try to do it. And that's really what he did. I think that, he figured he had to work on the contact. He boosted the contact, and with the contact, the power came around. His defense is still some of the best in baseball. I mean, you're looking at the future center fielder for the Royals with his defense. I mean, he can plug and play on defense for Kyle Isbell right now. It's just a matter
yeah,
of that bat coming around, and so far, it's been looking really good, even after his promotion.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's the only prospect because I mean, just me by nature, I'm very like analytically inclined when I'm looking at prospects. So,
Yeah,
I care about whiff rate, contact rate, swinging strike rate, chase rates. I care
yeah,
about all those things. Rockport is the one prospect I've watched, and it's just all of the hype I bring. It's just all about the eye test. The
yeah,
swing is just the swing is just gonna work,
yeah,
And if he strikes out 28%, but he's walking 12% of the time, like you live
yeah.
with that, I think. And now he's starting to hit for power and lift the ball. So
Yeah, and you got you have to have a mix of that. They were talking about that on the Royals game the other day. I mean, there's parts of the analytics that matter, but sometimes you got to use your eyes. That's part of um, what I saw with Evan Sisk and things like that. Now, I
yeah,
don't know that Evan Sisk will be great in a Pirates organization because it's the Pirates organization, but um, Sisk and Causey, I mean, who we just talked about, those two guys are similar with that big, like weird arm angle, funky
mhm,
stuff, but that breaking ball is just nuts. I mean, AJ Causey was catching 40 inches uh, difference between his two pitches, like just absurd. Like that's he's going to be a fun reliever to watch as he gets up. Um, and anyway,
yeah.
got
And
off
I think
topic there, but
I mean, just into that Sisk discussion again. I think part of why they were comfortable moving from him
yeah,
is I think he's like 27, right? He's
yeah,
older. I think
yeah,
you got guys like Causey coming up who can kind of fill a similar role. So I think that's part of where that comes from.
yeah, yeah. They have depth. Like they'll be fine. The pitchers, they're coming up like they're just drawing candy at this point. You got pitchers coming galore, but
Yeah.
they don't they didn't need him. But I did like what I saw from Sisk. Even when he was in the majors, he looked good in the majors. So he just had to go down at some point. It is what it is. But I like what I've seen from Causey. I love what I've seen from Rockeford. He's going to be a big part of this organization, especially as a bat, because while there is a plethora of pitchers, the hitters still have to get there. Um, I'm a
Yeah.
little
What's the
distracted
what's the
because
timeline for him? What do you think?
Rockeford.
Yeah.
Um, if he just got to Northwest Arkansas, I mean, it would depend. Man, I mean, if his bat keeps going the way that it's going, I mean, you could hear him knocking on the door next year. But I would imagine 2027, the start of 2027, midway through 2027, that's when you're going to see him like solidify a role, especially as Kyle Isbell starts to get faded out. You know what I mean? Like he's off the team or uh, hits free agency. I don't know how many more years of control he has, to be honest with you. I think it's just
I think
one in next
I think
year, but
Isbell's a free agent after next season, I believe.
yeah, that's what I thought as well. So I think that's when you really see Rockefort knocking on the door because I think you can have confidence in at least his glove. And that's so
Yeah.
valuable in Kauffman
Yeah.
Stadium that I think you can be perfectly content with just his glove. I was a little distracted here because Michael Waka got hit by a comebacker and they seemed a little worried about him, but he's
Is he
good to
okay?
go. So yeah, he's good.
I saw
It was a
Vinny hit his
little
23rd home
weird.
run of the season.
Yeah, that was huge. Yeah,
He's almost to 30. I think I said at the
yeah,
beginning of the year he's going to get to 30.
yeah. It looked bad at the start of the year. He got off to a terrible start, but he's
Yeah.
bounced back really well.
Yeah. Last thing I'd say for Rockaport, I mean, they're already kind of phasing Isbell out. I mean, we're seeing John Rave in center field. Tyler Tolbert's been in center field.
Yeah.
But I think, it was a completely different time. Like, even the minor league structure was, like, completely different. It wasn't the same. But we saw, like, Salvador Perez, he'd
Yep.
get to Double-A, spend some time, and then he barely spent time in Triple-A. I think a lot of that
Yeah.
was because there was a defensive floor that you could rely
Yeah.
on. I think Rocafort's the same type of story. I don't know how long they'll keep him in Triple-A once he gets there, but I think he's the type that you could see move pretty quick because you're gonna get really safe value from the defense
Yeah.
no matter what the bat does.
Yeah, bare minimum, he's the classic line of the ocean covers 70% of the earth and Rockefort covers the rest.
Yeah, right.
But he is very impressive out there. They are phasing out Isbell, which honestly is weird to me because believe it or not, he has the best OPS on the Royals in the month of August,
He does, but
946.
maybe
But
those go together, right? He's
yeah,
playing more part-time, so it's,
yeah, so
you know
that is probably helpful, especially playing more against righties instead. But he's been hitting a lot better, and that is good for him. John Rave has been hitting better. That's part of why they're playing him in center. I mean, I posted something today that shocked some people. John Rave has um, is second in OPS on the Royals over since the All Star break.
since everybody started asking why the hell he was playing baseball.
Right. I mean, like it was. I saw a couple days ago, like send John Rave down. I'm like, are you asking to send Bobby Witt Jr. down? Because Bobby Witt Jr. is hitting
Yeah,
worse than John Rave right now. So not that Bobby Witt Jr. is bad, but good lord, like the guy he's doing his job. He's doing it better than any outfielder we've had all year at this point. So
yeah.
um,
Yeah, I don't know what the future is for Kyle Isbell. I think the Royals have gotten to a point where they need production with the bat,
yeah,
and they can't just live with your defense alone. And I don't think he's been bad defensively, but he hasn't been as valuable this year as he was last year.
no, it hasn't felt like it.
Yeah,
Especially with the other guys. I mean, Tyler Tolbert has blazing speed out there. He is solid in center field. Rave has been solid in center field. So I think you can get enough out of those guys that it's okay. And
yeah,
they would rather have the offense, especially with how bad the outfielders have been. Now that they have Grichuk, Yastrzemski, Rave, those guys are all hitting. I think you can be a little more comfortable with putting him in center some, but they're going to want to keep Rave out there, especially if Yastrzemski and Grichuk are still hitting.
yeah. And Andy Rogers had a piece today that kind of dives into where Jack Caglianone fits in with all that.
Yeah.
And Quatraro basically said, like, the roster today vastly different from the roster the first time we called up Jack Caglianone. I think they
Yeah.
basically positioned it as, yeah, he's probably going to be in Omaha till September 1st. That's basically the way I read into that.
Yeah, and then I mean, this becomes the question that I've been asking a couple of people is, do you wait until an injury happens, or is it really going to be a competition between him and Carter Jensen if Jensen's healthy? Because Jensen feels like he should be up in September. I mean,
Yeah.
this is another similar, like the defensive value is there with him. It's been better this year, but he's raking in AAA. Like he went from AA, they called him up because he was owning in AA, and now in AAA he's mashing in AAA too. So between those two guys, they both feel like they should be called up in September. They're both top prospects. It's not like you have to call up one of them. So
Yeah.
there could be a
I
little
think
bit of
it'll,
competition there. But Caglianone's played in the majors before, so I'd give him the edge,
yeah.
especially because he is on the 40-man roster as well. But Canada
And
just got
as good as
DFA'd.
Jensen
So
has been, I think there's a big gap between how ready Caglianone is and how
yeah,
ready Jensen is. I think if
yeah.
they're in contention still, they probably stick with Maley as the
Mhm.
backup catcher. If you see the Royals, drop 2 series, then I
Right.
think they start thinking about, all right, let's just get Jensen up for September and, see what
Yeah.
we got. Let him get acclimated. I think that's what you
Right.
see.
Yeah. I mean, you've said this 100 times. Caglione has nothing left to prove in AAA. He hit 2 homers back-to-back days. He was like something like 11 for 20 down there.
Yeah,
Like
he's right back to
it's
mashing. Unless you're going to promote him and bring these AAA arms that are just throwing him meatballs, then he's
right.
not he's
Like
not
this.
going to learn anything.
Yeah. It was funny. I think it was Adam Duvall also posted something that was like I am impressed by the confidence of these AAA pitchers that continue to throw strikes to Jack Caglione, knowing that Drew Waters is hitting behind him.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
could just walk in and let Drew Waters come up and ground out. Like, we all know what Drew Waters is, but instead you're throwing meatballs to Caglianone. And he's sending them 450 feet. Like, it's
Yeah, there's nothing left for him there.
yeah, he's got to pick up on MLB pitching, and once he does, he's scary, man.
Yeah. I think there's still value to keeping him in right field. I just wonder if they bring him up and just play him more at first in DH.
DH, yeah.
Especially if you're out of it, you probably give Salvi a little bit more time off in September. But it really just it depends what happens between now and September 1st. I think that's going to kind of decide what happens.
Yeah, that'll be a big deal. I mean, they're winning right now, and this is a big series. So you get off that first win, that'd be huge for them. But I'm keeping my hopes up at a playoff push. Playoffs are fun, but you're right. I mean, if they're out of it, I think you start to play those young guys more. Give Salvi a break.
Yeah, and even if they're in it, I still think you probably bring up Caglianone. It's hard to bring, like you said, it's hard to bring him and Jensen up if you're really in it and you're playing for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, there is an open 40-man spot for Jensen because Canada just got DFA'd, but that would also probably mean you have to get rid of Mealy or you have to get rid of somebody else, and injuries would have to occur, I think, for both of those guys to come up. But I mean, with the way Caglianone's been playing, it's just tough to see him stay in AAA.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because you need him next year. You need him to figure it out as much now.
Absolutely,
he doesn't need to next year.
Yeah, they need that power in the middle of the lineup next year. I mean, you have to rely on him as an everyday player for next season. So,
yep. Let's round it out. We can close it out with Matt Quatraro, because that seems to be like the most. I don't understand why.
I'm not having any of it, man.
It's like the most polarizing subject in the fan base, and I don't get it.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Last year, we were talking about this guy as the manager of the year candidate. Like, probably should have won it. He turned around a franchise with, what did they add? They added Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha, and
Hunter Renfroe at one point, and that didn't really work, but he still turned it around, right?
Like, you got to see how these guys have turned things around. He has kept us in the playoff race with statistically the worst outfield I've ever seen. These guys cannot hit. Like I said, our best left fielder by WAR was Drew Waters this year, -0.6. That is our best left fielder this season. I mean, keeping us in the playoff race, I don't want to hear it about the bullpen management anymore. Bullpen pitchers give up hits. They do. Every manager is going to get blamed because their bullpen pitcher gave up a hit, and some genius on Twitter thought for sure that they knew that Angel Zerpa was going to come out and give up a meatball after going 12 straight scoreless. I can't take it anymore. I've been losing my mind. I can't stand it. The DFA Estevez. I don't know. Why did Matt Quatraro put out the closer who's third in the AL in saves? What are we doing, man? Like, it's just people that want to think that they know more and they just want change for the sake of change. This guy is a top 10 manager in baseball, in my opinion. I think it's fair to say that, like, pretty confidently. I don't think you could name 10 managers that are consistently better than Matt Quatraro has been over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, the job he's done with, like you said, the offense that he's had. You're still in the playoff race. He's had that offense, and then, like, the strength of your team, your pitching staff starts to get injury after injury after injury, still in the playoff race.
Do you remember how bad we started with Will Smith as our closer last season? How many saves did we blow? And we still made the playoffs relatively easily. Like, I mean, this dude knows how to work with a team. All the players love him. Have you ever heard a player say anything even remotely bad, like hinting at something bad about Matt Quatraro? I've never heard it. Like this, I just don't know what you really want. Like what are you looking for? I mean, unless you have a magic 8 ball and you're 100% sure that you're better at a manager's job than the MLB manager, whatever, man. Like you're not.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like the things you hear the most, like, oh, he doesn't get thrown out of the game.
What?
Like okay, or like the bullpen thing, like just at some point, like it's all the same people that like bash analytics also.
Yeah,
but like you said, like the hindsight 2020, like bullpen decision thing, like in their mind, the manager has like this perfect formula that he has to call in this reliever at this time or they're going to give up runs. Like, it doesn't exist.
They want Lucas Ursig to throw 120 innings this season, just all out of the
Even
bullpen.
Lucas Ursig damn near blew a game the other day.
Right? This is what. And somebody on Twitter was definitely like, "I told you we should have put Estevez."
They had it in the draft. So we should have called in this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they had it saved up. It's just crazy. I mean, he's been so good at what he's doing, and I was ready to spark a flame, so I wrote something about it. But I'm happy with the lineup. I'm happy with the changes. The people one thing I saw today that really, this is what set me off, at least today, was he doesn't hold players accountable. What on earth are you talking about? Like, how many guys have we gone through in the outfield? Like, at what point do you say that he is holding players accountable? I mean, do you want him to just DFA anybody that comes out and goes 0 for 4 on a day? Like
it's Matt Quatraro that's doing the roster moves and designating for assignment, right?
And I mean, even then, like, he's benching guys that aren't playing well. I mean, sending down MJ Melendez was easy, but I mean, when you DFA Hunter Renfroe, they made that decision. They gave him a chance. They stuck it out with John Ray for a good bit, and guess what? It paid off. Like, you can look at some of these other guys, but he is making the necessary changes. And he's kept this team in the playoff race. And I think that the Royals are winning because of Matt Quatraro, not in spite of him. And I can't stand the hate on Twitter for him. And then I'm going to go off on one other quick tangent, but if you go and look at his staff, like, look at what his staff is doing. I mean, Brian Sweeney as a pitching coach has been phenomenal. I mean, the pitching staff for Kansas City has been arguably the best in baseball, and you're going to get mad about the way that he's managing the bullpen. It's just crazy. I mean, he's a level-headed guy. He doesn't have to go get thrown out of games. He doesn't have to go yell at umpires unless somebody drops the gate at second base. And you want a manager that's there for your players, that's there all the time, steady-headed. I like a guy that reads into the analytics and simply just does what he thinks is right, doesn't let his emotions play into the game. That's what he does. He does it well. He's one of the best in baseball at it, and fans need to get to recognizing that.
Yeah, and that's not to say that he's perfect by any means. Like, I think there's some things that Matt Quatraro can do better. But even with those things, he's a top 10 manager. I don't think it was that long ago we had Mike Matheny who refused to play Kyle Isbell over, like, whoever the hell it
Michael
was.
A. Taylor. A. Taylor. Man.
You had Hunter Dozier who was just locked in, playing terribly for how long?
Third base. Oh my gosh.
And
I remember Kelvin Gutierrez over there at third base, just like overthrowing first baseman on repeat. And they kept going on talking about his cannon of an arm after he like knocked 3 people out in the crowd, hucking balls into the third deck of the stadium.
You had a manager literally put Bobby Wood Jr. at third base.
Yes.
Adalberto Mondesi. So, like,
do you remember how long they tried to shove the leadoff roll down his throat, man?
Yeah. And so, like, I get it. Like, you want more consistency. Like, maybe Quatraro should move players around less to let them get settled. Yeah. But I'd rather have this than have that.
Yeah, I mean, there are 162 games in the season. You remember the spreadsheets? Like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. There's 162 games in a season. The best managers, all the best managers, are going to have a bad day. They put in the wrong reliever. They make the wrong sub. One guy subs into the game defensively and then blows it on a play in the outfield. It happens. There's 162 chances to do that. Just because you're on Twitter and you made one good prediction does not mean that the guy is bad at his job. There's a reason he's making millions and you're on your couch watching the Royals game. I mean, I would never go out and say that I know more than Matt Quatraro. I mean, there are times that I said something, he did the other thing, I was right. Every other time, I was probably the one that was wrong, though. And nobody's ever going to post when they're wrong. But
exactly. Not to mention, like, there's so much they don't have access to that really decides a lot of these decisions.
Exactly. Like, absolutely. You can have one tweak of the elbow and the guy's shut down.
Yeah. But I guarantee if they had all of that data that the Royals are looking at for matchups or for this or for that, or like the injuries that are behind the scenes, then it would make a lot more sense to people, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's a tough job. There's a reason that there's so few of them, but he's perfectly fine. He is perfectly fine at his job.
The last thing I would say about Quatraro, and then we can close it out.
Yeah,
Say whatever you will about moving people too much. One thing you cannot say anymore is, "Oh, I wonder if he would be able to do it in the big leagues."
right.
Because you get to see if they can. Like
Uh-huh.
Mike Matheny, you had guys riding the bench. Like you didn't know if Kyle Isbell was going to be good because he never fucking played.
Yeah.
Like at
Yep.
least John Rave, you got a chance. You saw what you
Yeah.
had. Drew Waters,
Yep.
you saw what you had. Like
Yeah.
I really like how Quatraro uses that whole roster. You get guys a chance. You see what you have, and then you move on if you need to, which is exactly what the Royals have done.
Yeah. And that's holding guys accountable. They held Melendez accountable.
Exactly.
They held Waters accountable. They held Isbell accountable. They've benched Rave at times. They moved India to left field. He was terrible. They put him at third base. He sucked. Back to second you go. Like it reminds me of the Chiefs fans that hate Brett Veach.
I don't understand that one.
Like between the two of them, I just like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
it's those things. It's just like I don't even have a response for you. Like you're just mad about something else, and you're going on Twitter to complain about something, but something bad happened during your day because you're angry about the wrong stuff, man.
Yeah. Not to sidetrack us, but I just hope that Matt Quatraro gets to that Brett Veach spot at some point, because
right.
Veach is like one of the few in my mind that like I don't care what he does, like I don't question it. Like
Yeah.
that's probably the
Yep.
best thing. Like
Yeah.
we should do that.
I mean, I used to do draft. I still do NFL draft analytics, and so many times Brett Veach has made a pick, and I'm like, oh, I remember George Karlaftis, and I was on the couch with my dad. Man, this guy has no speed rush moves. He can't rush the passer for shit. He has no idea what he's doing. All he has is a bull rush. That year, got like 9 sacks, and my dad was like, "Isn't that? Dad, shut up." Man, he was he knows what he's doing, and I mean at this point it's like he makes a trade. He trades a 4th round pick for Josh Uche, and I'm like, okay. Brett Veach, I
because
guess.
he's gonna make up the value somewhere else.
Right. Like
And
he
like
is.
I said, Quatraro's not there yet, but I think the shortcomings he does have, he makes up for him elsewhere. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's his 3rd year as a manager. Like it's not like he's been doing this forever.
Yeah, he's not at the status of like I don't question what you do, but he makes a mistake, and I'm like, he made a mistake. We move on. It's not like again like Mike Matheny throws Michael A. Taylor out there in center field batting with a 500 OPS, and I'm like, it's just not like that. At some point, I just was like, you've done it for the 5th time in a row, and I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? With this, it's you really. With Quatraro, it feels like it's once a week. Somebody gets really mad at Matt Quatraro, and if that's what it is,
It's every day. I swear. Like
yes,
every single game, it's something.
I mean, I think there's again like once a week for me that I'm like, I would have done that differently. It maybe costs us a game twice a month. That's a manager, man. Like it's playing 25 to 30 games a month. They're going to cost you a game or two, but they're also going to win you like 5 or 6 in there that nobody's going to talk about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. If you didn't check that out, go check it out. Rose review, really good piece on Matt Quatraro. Especially if you're one of these people that just complain all the time. Like, just figure it out.
Go read. If hats off today. Hats off to Matt Quatraro. If there's only 2 people on the planet Earth that love Matt Quatraro, they're on this podcast.
Yeah. With that, I mean, we'll close it out. I will also throw an Adam Frazier mention just because we have to. All these people bashing Matt Quatraro are the same ones that said Cam Devaney was going to save us.
Oh my gosh, man. That was the most absurd arguments ever. Like, what was the player that they were talking about that was like, oh my gosh. Somebody was saying that he could be.
I saw Mike Aviles a few times.
Yes, that's who it was.
Whit Merrifield a few times.
Yep. He could become Mike Aviles, but instead we trade for Adam Frazier, who has played every day and has been a reliable, like middle of the order hitter, more reliable than any other outfielder we've had this season.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had told me to start this year, I mentioned this and a bunch of people texted me about it. If Adam Frazier, if you told me in August, or not in August, if you told me in April that Jonathan India would lose game time to Adam Frazier, I would have lost my mind. I would have been so angry that Adam Frazier was back with the Royals, taking reps from the leadoff guy who we just traded Brady Singer for. But
We're better
I
for
trust
it.
JJ Piccolo. He's been great. I mean, at some point, you just have to realize. I mean, this is like Evan Sisk. I like Evan Sisk, but at the end of the day, he's a AAA reliever. Life goes on. I mean, it is what it is. Falter hasn't been great, but I mean, you trade when you trade a AAA hitter for Adam Frazier. Frazier's been good. I mean, this is what happens. We traded a AAA reliever for Grichuk. Grichuk's been solid. What's Andrew Hoffman doing?
Yeah,
Because this is what
you're
happens. Their
upgrading on the margins.
prospects.
You're dealing your AAA depth for actual big league value. That's what you
Yeah,
want.
their prospects. They're managing it right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's gonna do it for us. We'll close it out. Check us out on YouTube. We'll put this up on YouTube. You can drop some comments. Check us out on X. We got the handles down there. And just make sure after you're done with this, go buy your Matt Quatraro or your Adam Frazier jersey. And
Yeah.
see you next time.